The world's population continues to swell. At the moment, we're clocking 7.6 billion people, with estimates predicting we will reach nearing 10 billion people by the year 2050. Right now, we're spread out far and wide, with Asia being the most densely populated continent. But what if we were all clumped together in one space? Hello and welcome back to Life's Biggest Questions. I'm your host Rebecca Felgate, and today we're asking, what if everyone lived in one city? Before we crack into this video, I just want to let you guys know that you can click that notification bell next to the subscribe button. That way you guys will be the first to know when we publish a new video. If you stick around to the end of the video, we will have 2 more video suggestions for you to keep on watching. Binge! Okay, 7.6 billion people, one city. If it were to happen, it would be a city of gargantuan measure, the biggest city in the world, but the only city in the world at the very same time. Big, sure, but we don't need as much space as you might at first think, depending on how dense we wanted to get. The densest city in the world is Manila, which has 41,514 people per square kilometer. This is cramped compared to Paris, which has 21,492 people per square kilometer. Melbourne, Australia is one of the least densely populated cities at just 1,860 people per square kilometer. The size of our city would be depending on how dense we would want our city to be. In theory, the entire world's population could fit on Sicily or roomier Iceland, although the mountainous terrain would make it a bit more of a challenge. As we have this space, it would be better to take a large chunk of land with varying benefits as the city of our world. That's a point. What would we call it? Worldinium? Let's go with that. At the moment, around 40% of the world's population lives within 100 kilometers of the ocean, and around 50% of people live in a city, with the other half living in rural areas. If we were to have a city housing the entire world, it would need to be of a livable climate, have access to a huge body of water, and swathes of land for farming. Mainland Europe may be a good area for our city, but it may be too big to have that laughable, close-knit feel. It's all about the community in Worldinium. Perhaps we could commandeer the entirety of Portugal, Spain, and France for our city of Worldinium, with room for expansion into Belgium, Germany, Italy, and Switzerland as the world's population gets bigger. The layout of this city would probably be very strange. Living in a city so large would make it hard to have a downtown core. If we did have just one downtown or city centre, it would probably be the size of a small country, so maybe the entire area of Portugal. The Pyrenees Mountains would make central downtown a big issue. Tokyo, the most populated city in the world, has swathes of high-rise buildings with pockets of metropolitan activity all over the shop. Even if we kept the entirety of Portugal as our downtown, other areas would crop up with a more downtown vibe. For the city of Worldinium to function, it would need very strong transportation routes, with trains running from the suburbs to the center and boats regularly providing trade and transportation links around the city. One of the key issues with the city of Worldinium would be social divide, with huge segregation and distribution of wealth between the rich and the poor. At the moment, 73.2% of the world's adult population earns under $10,000 a year. The top 1% of the world's highest earners own half of the world's entire wealth, so we can assume that half of the city would be controlled by this teeny group. However, on the flip side, it is possible the issues of sanitation and world poverty may be addressed as more of an important issue if we all shared the same city. Worldinium is likely to be divided into districts, and while we may see a more cosmopolitan downtown core than ever, the suburbs would be made up of people looking to stick to their kind, probably fueling turf wars. I could only hope that we would learn to get along, but if the close proximity of 2 very different religions in Palestine is anything to go by, a one-city world could be chaos. Who knows though, maybe over time we would be forced to live and let live. Access to healthcare would need to be a top priority for city governors in such close proximity. Living clumped together in Worldinium, pandemics could easily spread. Nobody wants another European plague situation. Speaking of city governors, who would actually be in charge? Could we have a democratic Worldinium population? How would an individual or small group govern the laws and interests of 7 billion people? What a prospect. While living in one city may help insular cultures learn to understand one another, it would also ruin many concepts of culture in the first place. It would be a challenge on many levels, but who is to say if we could ever manage it? For now, I have a feeling we're better off with a bit more space to travel in. So, what do you think the world would be like if we lived in just one city? Let me know in the comments section down below. Also, let me know what kind of video you would like us to make next on Life's Biggest Questions. I'm Rebecca Felgate, I'll catch you in the next video, but for now, stay curious, stay alert, and never ever stop questioning. Hey! Thanks for watching to the end. You might want to check out our video, What Countries Can't You Visit? And What If England Was a City? See you next time.